Cashew. The cashew, everyone's favorite nut, isn't really a nut. It's a seed that grows from the cashew apple on a cashew tree. The raw cashew, which looks like it's being evacuated by its apple, is covered in a toxic resin. The resin is contained in the shell and oil of cashews, which is why they are always deshelled. It's also why they are always cooked. This is essential because if you eat cashews right off the tree, you will experience some horrendous symptoms. Even handling raw cashews will give you a poison ivy-esque skin reaction. Luckily, most of us will never be in that situation since cashews are harvested in the tropics of countries like India, Vietnam, and the Ivory Coast. Unfortunately, many people employed in cashew plantations have permanent hand damage. Some people even compare the harvesting of cashews to the harvesting of blood diamonds.
Hard-boiled eggs aren't exactly exotic, but some countries like China have a rather unusual way of preparing these eggs. The Tong Zai Dan, for example, are hard-boiled eggs that are boiled using urine, but not just any urine. It has to be the urine of prepubescent boys, specifically boys aged 10 and below. While the process seems unpleasant, Chinese locals believe that these uniquely prepared eggs give them a number of health benefits, such as improving blood circulation and preventing heat stroke. They're also more delicious than normal hard-boiled eggs, if locals are to be believed. Understandably, most doctors disagree, as these so-called virgin boy eggs are prepared in very unsanitary conditions and produce little to no health benefits. After all, urine is a waste expelled by our bodies, so consuming it is more likely to cause negative health benefits. But as they're considered a local custom, it's inevitable that this unique delicacy will persist for a long time.
Casu marzu? That can't be so bad, right? It's Sardinian maggot cheese. It's a delicacy in Sardinia and Corsica, you know, where Napoleon was from. It's even considered an aphrodisiac. Casu marzu, which literally means putrid cheese, is made by taking whole pecorino cheeses outside, cutting off the top of the rind and leaving them open to the air. The female of the Philopila casei fly comes and lays her eggs in the cheese, leaving behind up to 500 eggs at every visit. The eggs hatch and the maggots begin to consume the cheese. As nature runs its course, the maggots' digestive juices break down milk fats and cause the cheese to ferment at a very rapid rate. They also create a watery substance that leaks out of the cheese as it ages. By the time it's ready to be served, each Casu marzu cheese contains literally thousands of 8mm long maggots. Now, believe it or not, it gets worse. It's believed that the cheese is only good while the maggots are still alive. The cheese is therefore spread onto flatbread while the maggots are still present. Because they can leap up to 15 centimeters when they're disturbed, people eating a Casu marzu flatbread sandwich have to cradle it in their hands to keep the maggots from escaping. Some people don't want to eat live maggots, but there are only two ways that Casu marzu aficionados accept for solving that problem. In one method, they take the cheese and seal it up in a paper bag. The maggots start to suffocate and jump around in the bag looking for freedom, making a sound like popcorn being popped. When the bag gets quiet, then the maggots have all suffocated and the cheese is ready to be eaten. The only other acceptable method of killing the maggots is refrigeration. When a live maggot is consumed, it can survive in the human gastric system, causing an illness called pseudomyosis. The maggots continue to do to living human tissue what they started doing to the cheese. Anyone else feeling a little nauseous? Hope you weren't eating just now. I recommend waiting to eat until after the video.
Nakji. This dish is basically a raw, small octopus that's sometimes eaten alive. Even if it isn't alive prior to consumption, many of the nerve cells are still firing, and the tentacles still move around. This really odd feature is thanks to their nervous system with neurons located in the arms. Getting past the mental hurdle of wiggling tentacles isn't the tough part. It's being able to actually swallow the tentacles that's the hardest task here. The tentacles contain miniature suction cups that keep on working even when the octopus isn't alive. Yep, they can hold on to someone's throat. Do I really need to mention choking hazards here? Would you eat a raw baby octopus?
Ghost pepper.
It's more tingly than hot. Yeah.
Are you one of those people that hates putting Tabasco sauce on your food because it makes things too spicy? Well, multiply that flavor by exactly 401.5 and you have the intensity of the ghost pepper.
Hurts so bad.
Also known by names like Boot Jolokia and Ghost Chili, this hybrid pepper is one of the world's hottest foods, and it is definitely not advised that you eat too many of them.
Get some water, fool. Water.
While consuming a few at a time is fine, albeit a little rough on your mouth, eating too much at once can result in severe stomach issues, as well as seizures and heart attacks, which could obviously result in a painful death.